I just gave him more work today, so I thought he was going to stay another week. Brian, very experienced deputy. He's been here a year. I know when I first met Brian, I was coming on board with my predecessor, showing me around the office, and Brian says, "Hello, sir. Captain Moore, good to meet you." Right back to his office. So I said, this guy's either really busy or he's antisocial. So luckily for Task Force Safe, it was the latter to the extreme. So the hard work that Brian has done over the last year really goes unnoticed a lot of times to the outside people outside of Task Force Safe. What he does on a daily basis is deals with all of our outlying teams. Right now that's 15 across the IJOA, soon to go to 18. So when there's a problem at any of those bases, working with the units, the battle space owners, because sometimes communication lags, Brian comes to me and says, "Sir, I need to go to Erbil. Sir, I need to go to Kasar. Sir, I need to go to Basra." Why? It's to put a face, a military face, with Task Force Safe, with those contractors on the ground, liaise with that battle space owner, essentially market to them what we're doing in inspecting, protecting the force, and helping them to succeed in their mission by protecting them inside the wire. You need a very experienced, well-spoken, and confident person to do that, and Brian has been that person for a full year. So I want to thank you for that and doing that, Brian. That means a lot to the organization. Now, Chief Longnecker and I are going to miss the person on Sundays to keep us accountable to get up to those Sunday morning 5Ks and 10Ks. So we'll have to rely on each other for that. All right. And I know you are leaving on one of the best notes an officer could ask for. You're getting promoted. You've been recognized previously for your great work down at CalSU, down there, replacing all the transformers and preventing future shocks there. And you're also getting a great award tonight. So I know Christian, Braden, all right, and Jack are good, and your wife Amy are looking forward to seeing you. All right, and as I found out, Brian and I are actually only 40 minutes apart back home in different commands. So I'll buy you the beer for your hard work, and then you can buy me one for your promotion.
We'll be waiting.
Okay. So with that, I just want to say thank you.
Ready? Go, sir. Publish the orders.
The Defense Meritorious Service Medal is presented to Captain Brian W. Moore. Captain Brian Moore, United States Army, distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service as Deputy Chief, Task Force Safe, J7, United States Forces Iraq, from 28 June 2010 to 22 June 2011 during Operations Iraqi Freedom and New Dawn. During this period, Captain Moore directed a team of over 55 electricians, fire protection specialists, data analysts, and staff in the inspection of over 42,000 facilities for electrical system and fire code compliance. His extraordinary leadership had a direct impact on the safety and welfare of over 125,000 service members and civilians. His dedication to duty directly resulted in a 50% reduction in electrical shocks and a 63% reduction in electrical fires throughout the Iraq Joint Operations Area. The distinctive accomplishments of Captain Moore reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Forces Iraq, the United States Army, and the Department of Defense.
Stand at ease. I'll load you up here. Got a big night. Couple of J7 picture. T-wall and corn. There you go. There you go. Let's get a picture of all that. Snap it before. We're going to take that from you. And we're not done with Brian here. We've been talking about he's a captain promoted. And so let me put this officer in perspective for you before we promote him to the rank of major. Once we promote him to the rank of major, we're going to re-administer the commissioning oath, established 1 August 1959. Jason kind of teed up what Brian's done here in Iraq, and his accomplishments are many. That's why that medal now displayed proudly on his uniform. Let's talk about his family. Wife Amy, son Jack, 6 years old. Braden's 10. Oh, outstanding Christian's 14. 21 years of service. Green to Gold program. Active duty enlisted, 1990. Commissioned as an officer in the United States Army, 1998. MOS 90 Alpha. Oh, when he was an enlisted soldier, low distance. Desert Storm, 1990 to 1991. OIF, 2005 to 2006. That's the kind of officer you have standing before you. Let me tell you a little bit about promotion boards, United States Army. These promotion boards consist generally of about 18 to 21 members. Officers senior in rank to those they are reviewing and considering for promotion to the next higher grade. The board process is fair. The assessments are equitable. And it's a whole officer file, the entire profile. An officer's demonstrated and developmental capabilities. Here's the real criteria. When all of those files are assessed for promotion to the next higher level, those who are recommended for promotion are not only fully qualified, they are best qualified. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the disclaimer that some officers and our non-commissioned officers sometimes don't pay enough attention to. Many are fully qualified. Only those who are best qualified are recommended for promotion to the next higher grade. So the cut you have made is significant amongst your peers. Your demonstrated capabilities, your developmental capabilities, we call that potential for future service. We are proud of you. And it's my honor and privilege to promote you tonight to the rank of major. We know your family is going to get a copy of this videotape. It was your choice to get promoted here in front of your colleagues, the J-17. We're with you, my good friend. Thanks for the honor and privilege to promote you. In just a moment, Brian and I will go to the position of attention. I'll say publish the orders. We'll promote him to major. Then he will turn and face me. I'll ask him to raise his right hand, and I will re-administer the commissioning oath. You ready? Let's cross the LD. Publish the orders.
The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Captain Brian W. Moore. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, Captain Moore is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of Major, effective 1 June 2011. Signed, John M. McHugh, Secretary of the Army.
All right, you ready? Who's got the rank? I'm taking it off right now. Who's got the real boss? Who thought you were being hailed? Go over. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stand there, face me. Raise your right hand. I state your full name.
I, Brian Wayne Moore,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
an officer
an officer
in the Army of the United States
in the Army of the United
in
States
the rank of Major,
in the rank of Major,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly
that I
swear
will support and defend
that I will support and
the
defend
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and
True faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental
or
reservation
purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
upon which
I
I am about to enter.
am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Major Brian Moore.
Oh. I want to thank God above most, faith through Him. This is proof anything can happen. I want to thank my wife who's at home taking care of my 3 wonderful boys. They're my inspiration. They're the ones I do this for. I want to thank my fellow NCOs, those past and present. It's because of you where I'm at today, through the training at the NCO Corps that I was once a part of, and continue to train me as an officer that have got me to where I'm at. I want to specifically thank now retired Sergeant Major McCormick, who in the summer of 1995 pulled me into his office, a newly promoted E5, and said, "Have you thought about the officer corps?" The rest was history. Quick story. 2 years ago, a young specialist walked into my office, new to the unit. He was looking at some of the things hanging on the walls. And we sat down, we started talking as I talked to the new soldiers that come into my section there. And he asked me, he saw some of the stuff hanging up from my last deployment, 05 to 06. He said, "Sir, was it worth it? Did you make a difference while you were over there?" And of course, I gave him the north-south. "Oh yeah, we're doing great things. We did great things." But I got to tell you, for 6 months, that tore at my stomach, because I couldn't honestly look that guy in the face and tell him, yeah, it was all worth it. The friends that I'd lost, the NCOs, the officers, the contractors, the civilians that have gone on before us. So 6 months after that, I called my branch manager and I said, "Look, I need to go back to Iraq. I don't care where you put me. I don't care what I do. I just need to go back." 6 months later, I had orders to come back. Now that I'm here, I'm seeing what we're doing. I see what's happened since I left. I see what you folks are doing. I see what the J7's doing. I see what USFI is doing. I can go back and look that specialist in the face and say, yeah, it was worth it. We did good things over there. As the general always says, first-rate work. I'm going home in 4 days, but you guys will be here to the end. I ask you to finish it. Finish that first-rate work. Not necessarily for yourself, or for the Iraqis, or anyone else, but for those that have gone before us. The contractors, the service members, and the civilians. Do it for them. Cool. That's it.
Go.